You're listening to Kits, Myths, and Mysteries, events that have occurred in a world you thought you knew. Today, we're digging into the legends of witches and vampires, but through the lens of science. What if I told you that the origins of these mythical figures could be traced back millions of years to a pivotal moment in our own evolution? It all starts with something scientists call a trivergence. About 85 million years ago, our ancient ancestors split from other mammals. Then, around 77 million years ago, a fascinating event occurred. Our evolutionary path split into three distinct branches. One of these branches, as you know, became Homo sapiens, the species that eventually evolved into us, anatomically modern humans. But what about the other two? This is where things get really interesting. These two branches didn't follow the same evolutionary path. The first of these other branches developed into a species that was almost human, but with one key difference: a significantly larger mandible and more formidable teeth. The third branch was even more peculiar. Fossil evidence discovered in ancient graves on the outskirts of villages reveals that this group was composed entirely of females. You've probably heard stories of all-female tribes deep in the Amazon. Well, recent fossil discoveries seem to lend some credibility to these tales. Hundreds of skeletons belonging to this all-female group have been unearthed. Carbon dating tells us that these fossils, along with those of the large-jawed group, are hundreds, maybe even 1,000 years old. This raises a huge question. Why did these three branches evolve so differently? Science suggests a simple, powerful answer: survival. Each group adapted to its unique challenges. Despite their different paths, all three species had the same cranial capacity. Their brains were the same size and likely developed at a similar rate, yet their strategies for staying alive were worlds apart. The fossils of the group with the large jaws and powerful teeth were often found in caves. An analysis of their bones revealed something startling: evidence of a rare genetic disease called xeroderma pigmentosum. This condition causes extreme sensitivity to the sun's ultraviolet rays. To survive, they would have had to become nocturnal, avoiding daylight at all costs. Does that sound familiar? Strong jaws for a different kind of diet, a life lived in darkness. The vampire myth starts to take on a scientific shadow. Now let's look at the all-female branch. Their skeletons showed signs of another rare biological phenomenon: parthenogenesis. This is the ability to reproduce asexually, without a male partner. A community of women, self-sufficient, and able to procreate on their own, living apart from mainstream society. Could this be the biological basis for the legends of witch covens? Remember, we're talking about evolutionary traits that began developing nearly 80 million years ago. But evolution is a long and messy process. We know for a fact that Homo sapiens interbred with other hominid species like Neanderthals before they went extinct. Their DNA is still present in our gene pool today. So it's entirely plausible that at some point in our shared history, our ancestors also mated with these other two branches from the trivergence. And here's the kicker: xeroderma pigmentosum, the vampire disease, still exists today. Parthenogenesis, while incredibly rare in humans, is a known biological process in other species. So, could the genes of these ancient divergent humans still be flowing through our veins? Do witches and vampires walk among us, not as supernatural monsters, but as distant descendants of a forgotten branch of humanity? The science suggests it's a possibility. Think about it. The very conditions that may have shaped their evolution are still present in our world today. You've been listening to Kits, Myths, and Mysteries, events that have occurred in a world you thought you knew. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe for more journeys into the unknown.